Now in the crypto space, you always hear blockchain this, blockchain that. But what if I told you that there was something that was more advanced than the blockchain, something newer than the blockchain, the new generation of the blockchain? Now the market cap is relatively high already, but I do think this project can easily make a push into the top 10 or maybe even top 5 of all crypto projects. And I'm talking about none other than HBAR or Hedera Hashgraph. Now before we truly dive into this video, if you could take a second to throw a like on the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Now, HBAR is currently ranked 34, sitting at $26 per coin, sitting at a market cap of 4.7 billion. It has a max and total supply of 50 billion tokens, so it is finite, it's deflationary. It has a circulating supply of 18 billion, which is only 36% of the max supply. And like I was saying before, Hedera is not a blockchain, it is a hash graph. And we're going to go into explaining that a little bit further as this video continues. And hopefully you'll understand what a hash graph is by the end. Now Hedera's main goal is ensuring decentralized governance at scale. And right off the bat you can see this partnership that they announced with Ubisoft, which is huge. Now Hedera itself is actually owned and governed by the world's largest leading organizations. You can see all this list here. You probably know a lot of these names like Boeing, Chainlink, LG, Google, IBM, Ubisoft, T-Mobile. Now, all of these companies have an equal percentage share, aka they have equal percentage control in what happens with HBAR and Hedera. This is also the centralized version of them, and this is why people don't call them decentralized. Now in theory it is decentralized, but technically it's really not, because these are really the only companies that are making decisions. It's not a full DAO. So really you can call this a small group DAO or a CAO, a centralized autonomous organization. But let's be real, that's going to be the future anyways of crypto. As much as we want to dream about full decentralization, the big boys and the whales got to get their money first. And in order for that to happen, the institutions and the enterprise solutions need to be able to make their money. So the first big wave of crypto that we'll see that is actually mainstream will more than likely be projects like this that are relatively decentralized but are still owned and operated by a major conglomerate. Think of it like the media, where 5 major outlets run all the media sources. So Hedera is the most used enterprise grade public network. And they call themselves the 3rd generation of public ledger. What they mean by that and the 1st generation is going to be proof of work. With proof of work, you had 3 transactions per second with Bitcoin, an average fee of $22, and 10 to 60 minutes of transactional confirmation time. And you can see the kilowatts per hour is excessive on Bitcoin. Now you got to the 2nd generation, which is going to be proof of stake blockchain, which is the Ethereum network, where you get 12 transactions per second, running at just a little bit shy of $20 on average for the fees, even though it's a little bit higher now. 10 to 20 seconds per transaction confirmation, and 122 plus kilowatts per hour. And then you have the 3rd generation, which is going to be hash graph proof of stake, aka HBAR Hedera. Now this supposedly can get to 10,000 plus, all the way up to 250,000, but we'll actually see when it's genuinely tested through time and with real stress tests. The average fee on HBAR is a fraction of a cent. The transaction confirmation time is within 3 to 5 seconds, which is competable directly with Visa, and that's what makes this so competitive and great, is that you can compete with the fiats and the major fiats that are running transactions on a large scale basis throughout the entire globe. And the kilowatts per hour is also a fraction of what the other ones are going to be doing. Now, because it's powered by hash graph consensus, it achieves the highest grade of security possible, and it has blazing fast transaction speeds and incredibly low bandwidth consumption. So you combine high throughput, low fees, and finality in seconds. Now, just some of the features within Hedera is the token service, so you can create your own token or NFT. You have a consensus service, so you can build directly on the hash graph. And then you have the smart contract service, so you can run Solidity smart contracts directly on the hash graph. And you'll be able to use Solidity and Viper to create these decentralized apps. So one of the main driving forces behind Hedera is going to be their use cases. That's really what the governance is there for, is to create these use cases. So right now they're using payments, fraud mitigation, data compliance, tokenized assets, identity, permissions, blockchain, healthcare, enterprise, and gaming. So they're basically getting a little piece of every single pie and showing that they can scale and provide value in every single aspect. And you'll be able to go into here and dive a little bit more and see exactly what Hedera is doing with IBM or DLA Piper or Galaxy, for example. And to be completely honest, each one of these Hedera papers could be one video, and each one of the videos would probably be either 30 minutes to 2 hours. So I would highly suggest, if you're looking into a project, anytime you're doing research and looking into investing in a project, you want to keep in mind that none of this is financial advice. You always want to do your own diligence and your own research. Make sure this is a project that you want to invest in long term and that you think is worth it. So if you do think HBAR is on your list, I would highly suggest reading through all of these papers and really getting to know what this project is about. There is a lot of information. You can watch videos from the CEO and the founder that are 2 hours long that explain the technology from start to finish. Now, really the only part that I want to highlight from the white paper is the difference between the blockchain and the hash graph. So as you can see, the blockchain is going to be a single blockchain. Literally, that's why it's called a blockchain. All of these are going to be transactions that were voided and thrown out because they did not fit the criteria of the blockchain. Whereas the hash graph, how it works is that it maintains all of the information within the graph itself. So all of the information is usable, whereas in the blockchain, you're discarding a lot of this information and you're wasting this information and this time. So the hash graph would really work in a uniqueness form, like a DNA molecule, where you can have infinite amounts of possibilities to create different humans based on four different codes of DNA, and each strand of DNA will be different from the next. And really why we wanted to get into this video right now is because on the daily chart, we're seeing this nice bullish MACD divergence. You're seeing a lower low on price while you're seeing a higher low on the MACD. This is a signal of potential divergence. You also have been seeing price make a nice little move this last week. Now, even though Hedera has been moving relatively strong, it has been underperforming the rest of the market this last week, so it does have a lot of room for growth, and even retesting this all-time high is over 100% move, so you can get a 2x move easily on a project that already has a $4 billion market cap. And if it does want to push into the top 5, it has plenty of room to grow. You could potentially even see this do a 10x if you are patient enough. Now, some other good things we're seeing is the fast stochastic already ripped up to overbought. We're seeing the RSI break over the 50 again, which is great to see. And the VFI is finally breaking onto the bullish side and potentially holding support here. Now, we haven't seen a bullish hold on our VFI. The last time we've seen a VFI bull hold was on October 26th, and then we broke bear on November 22nd. And since then, we've been bearish on the VFI. Now we're finally getting the potential to break bullish, and if this can hold and move up, we could see some nice price explosion out of Hedera, especially with this Ubisoft news that just came out. This is something that could easily catch wind, and all it takes is a little bit of marketing money from a project like this, and that can be an easy catalyst that could drive price up, especially if they want to make a push into the top 10 list. And this is going to wrap up our video on HBAR. If you didn't get a chance to already, make sure to throw a like on this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, if you could take a second to go check out our crypto Discord and our premium accelerator program, that'd be greatly appreciated. Hopefully everyone's having a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on wherever you're watching this in the world. And we'll catch you on the next one.